Hi, I'm Brett with the Craft Beer Connoisseurs, and before this episode begins, I just wanted to provide you with a little information on who we are and how you can stay updated on all of our content. This podcast was created to showcase craft breweries and indulge in interesting conversation. We want to help promote a variety of breweries and along the way have conversations ranging from sports to beer and beer to just about anything. Please feel free to follow us on Instagram at Craft Beer Cons, send a friend request on Untappd, or subscribe on YouTube at Craft Beer Connoisseurs. Also, drop a comment, like, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Now stay tuned for today's episode. Welcome to Craft Beer Connoisseurs. I'm Brett.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Tyler. And along with us today is producer Justin.
Hey, Justin.
Justin.
In today's episode, we'll be reviewing Broken Stick Brewing Company out of Hammond, Ontario.
Yes, we shot up north for this one, eh, boys?
Oh, yeah.
So let me tee up the two beers that we're going to be trying today. The first is the Hazerbeam, which is a New England IPA. And the second one is the Darkest Hour, which is a dark saison. The first saison we've had on the podcast.
It is. You don't see a lot of saisons.
No. But it's saison time of year.
And end of this episode, we're going to talk about our experiences with golf.
Hey, we're back. Look at us.
Everybody, we're back.
We're back again.
On the next tee.
Yeah. First hole, here we are.
All right. So, Broken Stick is located at 600 Dew Golf Road in the village of Hammond. The GPS might put you in the city of Clarence Rockland, but either way, it's about half an hour. It's about half an hour.
Location?
Round the area.
Okay. All right.
Whatever way you look at it, they're about half an hour from downtown Ottawa. Now, the fun part, and kind of teeing up in the conversation we're going to have later, it is the only brewery in all of Canada to be located on a golf course.
All right.
Wow.
Yes. So it's situated at
convenient.
it's situated at the Hammond Golf and Country Club. So obviously that is a great combination. Golf and beer, that's like my two things.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to put a little thing out to our producer here. That's 2 tee up jokes by Brett. So keep track of what we got going for the rest of the episode. So the brewery is co-owned. It's got 3 partners, Stefan Declaire, Leonard Gendron, and Aaron Markle. So Aaron, I guess, was a local contractor or is a local contractor in the area, right?
Maybe? Seems to me.
Okay. You did the research, so we're going to trust your word on that one.
100%.
Right.
That's right. And Leonard actually owns the golf course where the brewery is located. So Stefan and Aaron were actually involved in another project in Ottawa, but then the other partner in that project backed out, and they wanted to have their own site and a little bit closer to home, so that they kind of settled on being on the golf course.
Yeah, what a happy accident, eh?
Yeah. Just to settle to be on a golf course. Just
a nice backup. Yeah, that's nice to fall into that.
Yes. So Gendron was looking for a way for the golf club to be different. And obviously, what better way to be different than a craft brewery, right? Put the craft brewery on the golf courses. I mean, it's not on the 8th hole, but it's in the clubhouse area. Anyway, so Markle's dad was actually the club captain and figured it'd be a great fit for bringing a brewery to the small village of Hammond.
Right.
Some would say a perfect marriage,
Yeah.
Golf, beer.
I guess.
I'd be married to that.
We'll get to who's golfed a lot and who hasn't golfed a lot, but I guess it would be a pretty good combination, except for probably the back nine might get a little bit sloppy depending if you went and visited the clubhouse in between, right?
The 19th hole is always the best hole.
Yeah, exactly. You definitely gotta have a few beers after, and then if they're craft beers, then even better, right?
Right.
So the brewery is actually also part of the Hammond Hill Eco Resort, which is Canada's premier eco experience and wilderness resort. So they're not just a golf course, not just a brewery.
There's a resort there.
It's a wilderness resort too.
They got a few things going on. Let's just say that.
Yeah. So you can hit a bunch of things in one trip.
I was just going to say, it's a huge destination kind of spot. And it's something I don't think any of us have really thought about or really looked into prior to this episode, right? So I'm actually kind of interested in saying, hey, when things kind of open up and whatnot, that might be actually a pretty sweet location to kind of go for a long weekend.
I'm down.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I wasn't saying together. Oh,
you're just
excuse me if I apologize if I misled you. I was just saying in general.
Something for you to do. Okay.
You know what?
Okay.
You FaceTime me from there and just give me the lay of the land.
I will. So they're brewmaster. So let's get into a little bit about a little bit more into the brewery and the brewmaster there. So the brewmaster, David, used to work for the federal government as a biologist. And so again, we've seen some of these kinds of career changes where they're in one occupation, one field, and then switch over. But I would almost like to think that some of that science is kind of playing through in the beers, right? So I could see the connection. I could see the transferable skills.
Amazing that there's some science involved with beer.
Yeah. There you go.
And
I wish I paid attention in chemistry way back in the day when I was in high school. Maybe I would have, become a brewer myself.
Yeah, if they told you that if you paid attention during chemistry, you could learn how to brew beer, then you say, right? I'm totally paying attention right now.
But instead, I'm a great beer taster and reviewer, not beer maker.
And so because of that, they do have 39, I believe, different beers.
Yes.
They do have some staples. They've got Mully's, which is a red ale. Happy to Be Here, which is a cream ale. And then I think you noted in here, Brett, that they had some fun with some of the names as Hoppy Gilmore and Questionable Caddy.
Yes. I've had a couple of questionable caddies in my day. Yep.
So we're not the only ones with the golf puns going on.
No, not at all.
It's kind of expected, though. It's kind of expected.
You got to have fun with it. So obviously, they just also released a couple new beers besides the Darkest Hour, which is we're going to review later on. So Desert Storm or Dessert Storm. So it's a double pastry stout with a coffee cake flavor.
I love the quotation. Yes, I love the hand gestures that nobody else can see, but it's great. It adds to it.
You know what? Eventually, we'll do a video and you can see me go like this. And the other one is Smell the Flowers. So we actually kind of had some fun with them on Instagram, a little back and forth there. It is a beer de table, which is otherwise known as a farmhouse ale.
Nice.
Yes. Beer de table. Wow.
Yes.
Interesting.
So their main slogan on most of the cans, especially the staples, is keep it crafty, friends.
Okay.
Which is nice.
And we'll see that as you tell us about the cans once we get into them.
We'll get there. We will get there for sure.
Yeah, so they do have a collaboration right now with Little Ray's Nature Center, and it's for a beer called Gator Ale, which is a New England IPA, and they're giving $1 from each can that they sell to Little Ray's Foundation for animal rescue and education support, which helps fund the overall needs of animals in their care. So
cool.
Again, seeing another brewery kind of help out in the community.
Another great initiative. Yeah,
yes, exactly. Very good idea. Yeah. And I know I've seen Little Ray's when they came to Masonville, like during March break, a couple times back when I was younger. Yeah, right. I don't know if you guys remember that, but it was a fun time. So let's get into the delivery of the beers,
because that's what we care about. Yeah,
how fast they got to us.
It was incredible.
It was a record. So I will say the beers did get delivered to my house. I think we are emailing with Stefan, and he emailed us like a Thursday afternoon, let's say 4:30, that they were on the way. Friday morning, I think around 10:30, they arrived.
It's insane. There's only one thing faster than these beers, and it's Chinese food in Windsor at 2:00 in the morning. But beyond that,
that's not a lie.
Beyond that, this was super quick.
I was thinking the old Pizza downtown Stratford at 2:00 in the morning after a night at Bentley's.
Yeah, I don't know about getting delivery from there, but you can pick it up.
That's true.
Yeah, so they do charge, I believe it's $15 for shipping on orders over $40, which really isn't, and that's in Ontario. So that's really not that bad, especially if you get a couple of guys together and whatnot and pitch in and get a fair amount of their beers and try a variety of them, right?
Yeah, you got it. I mean, it definitely sounds like they got some good stuff going on. And obviously, I mean, we get to try two of them very shortly. So pretty pumped about that.
Right. And so did you take a look at any kind of like interior pictures? Because obviously we haven't been there before. And I just didn't know if we had kind of a general feel of what it looked like or a street view or something.
Yeah. So I know this is one of the things that one of the breweries, I believe in the last little while, that we haven't really been to or haven't had before, right? Like we are going in blind to this one. So in terms of the actual, brewery inside and whatnot, it is also kind of a restaurant. So they provide like burgers, sandwiches, when they can be open due to COVID lockdowns. But it does look like and again, one of those nice rustic feels inside, right? Somewhere where you feel like, after golfing a long 18 holes, you can enjoy yourself for a while and get a driver to pick you up and take you home.
Right. All right.
Not bringing up the Callaway again.
Okay. All right. So, is there anything that we want to do with her information, Brett? While we kind of move on.
Oh, let's see here. What do you think about putting it on our social media?
Yeah, we could do that.
That sounds like something we should do, right?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Let's do it. All right. So after struggling to stay under 100 in that round, we're going to hit the 19th hole.
Fore! Oh, sorry, boys. Just my natural slice coming out.
I was going to say, that's typical Tyler.
Yeah. Ooh, good alliteration there. So we want to start off here in this next segment by thanking Stefan for supplying the beers for today's episode. So thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. And for the very speedy delivery.
Yeah, super quick. So as previously mentioned, the first beer is called Hazerbeam. So on Untapped, it is labeled as Hazerbeam Gamma Ray. Okay.
Just if you guys are playing at home.
Yeah. Just if you're playing at home. So it is a New England IPA with 6.5% ABV and 55 IBUs. Right. So it's not too bad, not too heavy, but she'll get you.
Yeah, for sure. I think it'll get to me a little bit. Right. So in a hopocalyptic world, bland and tasteless beers rule the day. So tired of their predecessors' monotone beer, a flavor rebellion has risen to the fizz. You like the storytelling here?
What is this? This is beautiful.
It's like I'm previewing a movie here.
Exactly.
So this hazy IPA will excite your taste buds into a flavor revolution with an intense, juicy fruit flavor.
I hope so.
Nice.
I'll look forward to that there.
This beer was brewed with a few different malts. They use two-row, oat, and wheat, as well as cariform. And they use 3 different hops in it, Huel Melon, Mosaic, and Eldorado. And then it was also brewed with a foggy London ale yeast. So
some of that we've never had.
Correct.
Or maybe we have. And we just didn't know.
not on the podcast, at least, in all fairness, right? So
right.
Correct. A little bit new. So on Untapped, you can follow us at Craft Beer Connoisseurs. The overall rating for Hazerbeam, Gamma Ray Edition, if you will, is a 4.15 bottle caps out of 5 and a total of 41 check-ins. So
wow, that's a good rating.
Hopefully that's up to date. We'll get the producer, if he can turn his attention to it and make sure that's good while we start consuming this beer. So I also then have this wonderful next part here. So grab your glasses and grab your beers and let's open her up.
There it is.
All right.
There it is.
There's the comment. All right. So
one thing before you get
this
started.
This is just like me on the 4th hole.
Before you get started, Chris, is that I believe that this beer is currently out of stock on their website. So thanks to the producer for finding that tidbit of information.
So people like this beer.
All 41 of them. Yeah. Sold out.
Well, I'm sure there's more than 41 people that have had this beer. Just
unfortunately, not everyone uses Untapped, but
they should.
They should. Absolutely.
And follow us.
Yeah. So we are drinking the Hazerbeam out of an IPA glass today, so make sure to use your proper glassware.
Now, I know, again, I'm sitting in a very, very dark room because that's the way I like it. But I can see this beer, and look at that head retention.
Yeah, I didn't pour too much head on mine, actually. But
my head's just like lingering here, like picture perfect.
Yeah, this smells amazing.
Yes, it does.
Producer Justin is saying it smells unreal. So I totally agree. Like tons of like citrus just hitting me.
I appreciate you giving the PG version of what producer Justin is saying.
Yes, yeah.
It does smell good. It looks phenomenal as well. It's got that kind of peachy tone to it, or that mango kind of feel as well. You guys have already talked about the head retention. I'm more
pretty hazy.
On Brett's pour than on your pour there, Chris. So
yeah,
you look to be in the middle of us. Looks like, because my head is still very, very strong there. Oh yeah, we're about the same.
We're up there. We're up there. Yeah.
Justin's got a pretty decent head too.
Yeah, and so I guess when we get talking about it, sometimes the size of the head of the club or the head on the beer doesn't matter too much. It could be, an inch or 2 inches, and that's a decent head on this New England IPA. So,
hey, inches matter in the game of golf.
That's true. It's true.
Yeah.
All right, boys. We've all kind of smelt it. Do you want to start tasting her up a bit?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Let's do that.
Yeah, it's good. I like that.
Smooth.
Oh yeah, that goes down real smooth.
Yeah, that's nice and smooth. And you get that. So I think it said 55 IBU. You get you can feel that 55, but it's not overpowering or anything like that.
This is highly crushable.
Yes.
Yeah, the 6.5 I was going to say doesn't really jump out either, right? So it doesn't have like that boozy kind of flavor to it. I think the melons, that kind of flavor stands out a fair amount. It's well done for sure.
This is a great beer to sip on if you're waiting for your foursome ahead of you on the 7th hole while sitting in your golf cart.
Yeah.
We should have done a tally at the beginning of this as well as how many different holes we're going to reference, because I think we've got the 19th, the 9th, the 4th, and now the 7th. If a little bit of my savantness is coming through. If you're playing at home, start at the beginning and maybe play it back and see what we can knock out every hole here.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever talked about the second?
We're doing it all unintentionally, so maybe we'll cover them all. So,
for sure. Yeah. If not, we're just going to ramble them all off at the end. Cover the bases.
Oh, goodness. But yeah,
What are you guys tasting in this?
Definitely get mango and peach.
Okay.
And melon as well. Because obviously there's no melon, but
yeah.
so there's going to be melon involved. But
I'm getting a lot of that mango, I would say. And then, probably a little bit of peach on it. But yeah, it's really, really good, really smooth, but balanced, right? Because like I said, you can feel that 55 IBU, but it still doesn't hit you.
Right. And I'm kind of in the same golf course as you there. I was going to say ballpark, but we might as well keep it thematic. So I'm on the same golf course as you. I agree. I think it is very balanced. You do have a little bit of that mango kind of coming to the forefront. The peach is a little bit subdued. But and then those melon kind of aftertones as it kind of settles itself out. But well done. Again, smooth, very smooth.
Yeah. If this is the real introduction to Broken Stick, I think I'm going to need more than just this beer in the next one. I think we may have to order some more, right?
Right. I think the producer here has written a wonderful comment, and I was kind of thinking this too, and I think it'd be absurd if it wasn't true, but the comment is, would hope that the beer carts contain these beers on the course. I would hope so. It'd be horrible marketing if they had other beers on the course. But I would also then caution the cart individuals selling the beers to really make sure they don't overserve, because with a craft beer, instead of just having a top 3 or top 5 beer that's more light, something like this, you'd want to make sure somebody's not ordering 10 of them on holes 11, 12, 13, 14. I think I got those 3 knocked out. Okay.
Yeah, I think if you run into the into the beer cart at the halfway house and you're having a good round, probably you don't want to get a bunch of these, because your round will just go downhill from there.
Look the other way.
My round always goes downhill on the back 9, because probably I am busy looking at cans.
Okay.
Oh. Beer cans. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sometimes, beer cart girls can be okay looking. But what I will say is the can almost has like a robot with the
almost eyes. Does have a robot, or most almost certainly
does.
Has.
Can neither confirm nor deny. No, I will confirm that it does have a robot with the eyes kind of hazering to the bottom right of the label. It's very colorful, very attractive in terms of the actual label itself. It would stand out if you were, I know they're not in the LCBO right now, but if they were to go, this would be one that you'd look at and be like, oh, that's a cool design. I need that. And then when you taste the beer, you need more of it.
Right. Yeah, they must have seen my drives, because they're just Hazerbeams off the tee. So makes sense. I get it. So the top 5 flavor profiles. Yeah, top 5 flavor profiles. Let's get some comments as we go through it, because we've been back and forth on this, but interrupt as you will. Number 1, hazy.
Agreed.
It is hazy.
Yeah.
Number 2, smooth.
Yes,
100%.
absolutely, it's smooth.
So producer saying that move that one up to El Numero Uno.
I think they're interchangeable. I agree with that. They're kind of 1, 2, 1A, 1B kind of thing.
For sure. So maybe that's hole 1 should be smooth, and then hole 2 hazy. Hole 3 balanced.
I like it.
I think it's totally balanced.
Yeah.
Right. And then we move on to the 4th hole, obviously. And this one reminds me a lot of Brett. Juicy.
Amazing.
Nice.
Not sure what you mean by that, but yeah, it's definitely
Long
juicy.
story, Chris. Long story.
There it is. And number 5, to not reference something that Brett already did, but Melanie. And not the girl cart.
Not the beer cart lady.
Not the cart girl, Melanie. The melon of the flavor profile. So, yeah, I think we have a bit that we'd probably move around a little bit, but all 5 are in at least my taste as well as the producers. So, what do you guys?
Yeah.
You guys all aboard?
I think Justin's has a good point here. So he's saying that in this top 5, there's not really like a throw-in, which we often see, right? Like all 5 of these are really bang on with what we're actually getting in this beer.
Right.
I agree.
Yep.
So, speaking of Untapped, maybe we should get some thoughts from different users on these beers. So, Tyler, go nuts, my friend.
Yeah. So the first one is Patter, as in pitter patter, I guess. Patter SL Pat 67 is a handle. On February 8th, commented, first sampling of Broken Stick beer order. Mango, pineapple, melon notes, juicy, thick, smooth, nice. And they give it a 4 out of 5.
Nice.
I agree with all that, by the way.
Yes, I do as well.
Yep.
All right. So next one comes from Barry B. Handle is B Beldam on April 23rd. Said juicy, lots of mango and pineapple. And Barry gave it a 3.5 out of 5. And interesting to note is that Barry's profile states that he only checks in unique beers, which I agree with,
Right.
but says he gives his own basic rating. So 5 is amazing, 4 is preferred, 3, he'll do it, 2, if there are no alternatives, and 1 is never again. So
in this case, he will do as well as preferred. Okay.
yeah. he's halfway in between.
All right.
Yeah.
Good
I always
rating
like to
system.
bingo, right? So, speaking of ratings, I'll give us a start. I like this beer. It's not a 5, but it's pretty damn close. I'm going to give it a 4.75.
Wow.
All right.
Wow. It is a really good beer. I'm not quite at 4.75, but I'm at 4.5.
All right. And I'm going to be at a 4.25. Great beer. And the producer is also at a 4.5.
All right. Well, as we just wait for Justin to do some math here, that's giving us an overall of 4.5.
All right. So let's get ready for the back half as beer number 2 is coming up.
Well, looks like we're on the back half there, boys, because we're doing beer number 2.
Yeah,
I like the back
9.
half.
Back 9. You got her.
Almost
So-
home time, baby.
Almost home time. Yep. Almost Uber time. Anyway, the second beer we're having today is called the Darkest Hour, which is labeled as a dark saison. It has an ABV of 6%, right spot on the money,
Okay.
and 19 IBUs. So on Untapped, it has 45 check-ins with an average rating of 3.73 bottle caps out of 5.
Nice.
Nice. So this dark saison delivers a mix of earth tone and cola flavors with Belgian saison twist.
Okay.
And it's gently spiced for added complexity. They produce a beer for inner contemplation and outer conversations. May this dark saison bring you comfort during your darkest hour. So whenever you're way off in the woods, you're looking at a quadruple bogey, get out this dark saison. That's your darkest hour.
And start crying.
Yeah.
Immediately.
I've made a few quad brogies before. I feel as though this beer might be something I should pull out. I get that for sure.
All right. So I'm going to go through the ingredients listing here. It's put in here very much like the back of a cereal box. So malt, we have 2 row, Vienna, Munich, chocolate wheat and rye, hops, Northern Brewer, other, vanilla, cinnamon, cherry bark, nutmeg, star anise, coriander, orange peel, yeast, saison ale. So that's what they state on as the ingredients. Now, some people have kind of looked at this and said, It's kind of got like a little bit of a root beer without the sweetness. And with that being said, I'm going to add the sweetness into this podcast and say, grab your glass, grab your can. Brett, you look like you want to say something, bud. Spit her out.
I thought you were going to grab like your mug root beer and your A&W and your Barks and just do like a root beer thing.
Root beer connoisseur.
Yeah, root beer connoisseurs.
There you go.
You know what? We might do that for the under 18 group someday. Maybe a producer special on root beers for the kids special.
Yes, and we'll do like mango, apple, and juices. It'd be great.
There you go. All right. So grab your glass, grab your beer. Let's pull this one out and let's open it up.
There it is. Again, as I say. Usually when I make a hole-in-one, that's what I say. Oh, there it is, because I make a lot of hole-in-ones.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Save that conversation. Save that conversation for later, because I'm actually genuinely curious. I'm sure everybody else is.
All right, so we've never had a saison on the podcast, let alone a dark saison. So we are actually drinking this out of a tulip glass. So you could drink your saison out of a tulip, a chalice, a snifter. So make sure to use your proper glassware.
I mean, you can drink it out of any glass, but we prefer a chalice or a tulip for sure.
Just taking a picture here. Taking a picture.
Yes, you do that. So let's get a look at the... Okay. It's kind of got that cola smell, like with a little... Yeah.
It does. It smells kind of like a Coke.
Yes. Hopefully it's not a Coke, because they fool us.
Yeah.
Could you imagine a craft brewery saying, "Oh, it's a beer"? All of a sudden, it's just literally a Coke or like an RC Cola.
RC Cola.
Yeah, that would be the worst.
They just put their label on it.
Rebottle the 2 liter and split her up.
Yeah.
They call that a plastic growler.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let me take a look at this one here and give her a smell.
Well, it's definitely dark. It's called
that
dark
is correct.
Saison.
Yep.
It is certainly dark. If you didn't know it was a dark saison and you just kind of stumbled upon it, you could probably mistake it for a stout or a porter or something like that.
Yeah.
But then once you smelt it, you'd say, no, that
You
definitely doesn't. Yeah. Well, yeah.
So I'm looking at this, and so as you say, it kind of looks like that stout kind of like the darkness of it. However, the carbonation of this is like the ale, so it's not like that stout. You do get the carbonation and those bubbles kind of traveling vertically in their rows, if you will.
It's better when they travel vertically versus horizontally. I will say that. It means the beer's been brewed
if
well.
that's the case, you've got your glass upside down, or you might want to fix that.
If I have my glass upside down, all the beer would be out of it.
That's true.
That is true. Yeah.
But I do get that kind of like, I don't know, the cola kind of root beer kind of smell to it, whether it's kind of like a days old root beer that's kind of just sat out and kind of has like a flatness to it, right?
A little
so
flat, yeah.
You get that aroma still kind of coming through.
Is anybody getting the nutmeg or the cinnamon out of the smell?
Let me get into
a little
this.
bit of the nutmeg.
Get that snifter in there.
Yeah.
A little bit of the nutmeg.
Okay.
A little bit.
Maybe not that cinnamon. Sorry, Chris.
Yeah, I'm not getting a lot of cinnamon, but it's interesting because there is a ton of adjuncts in this beer, right? So there's kind of a lot of flavors at play on this one.
Well, should we taste it now, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
I'm going to
interested. I'm interested in this
All
one.
right.
I'm going to be looking at everybody's face as they sip it.
All right, let's go. Let me get another swig of that.
That's interesting.
It is really interesting.
Yeah.
Like
There's a lot of things going on there.
Yeah, I don't know where to kind of put it taste wise. Like
I probably wouldn't have picked up on this without hearing it, but when they mentioned root beer without sweetness, I do get that, right?
Yeah. And I think part of that might be because the vanilla is driving it a bit. Yeah. I don't know if you guys are kind of getting that as well. So sometimes with that root beer is you do kind of get a little bit of vanilla.
I almost think it's like, I don't know if you guys have had the cherry vanilla Cokes in the States.
Yes. Yep.
Almost like a flatter cherry vanilla Coke.
Well, it's not even flat, you know.
No, definitely not flat.
But I understand like the flavor profile to it, and I think it kind of again, the earthiness. Like I do get that driving kind of like earthiness feel to it. Again, maybe that's that root beer kind of connection, because obviously root beer with the root and bringing it back to the natural sugars. And maybe that's kind of where this is kind of going with it as well, right? Like I don't get the orange kind of peel. Like I know it's
no, I'm not getting any orange out of this.
Peel, but
yeah, me neither.
I think with the malt that's in there, that chocolate wheat, I mean, we always see a lot of 2-row, Vienna. We've seen that a lot. Munich from time to time, but like that chocolate wheat maybe as well with that that vanilla kind of feel is really kind of maybe driving this beer.
Yeah, I'm getting like on the back end, just like a tiny hint of chocolate almost, right?
Is
and
anyone?
I think that, yeah, I think that's coming from that malt. Nothing crazy, but just a tiny little bit to know that it's there.
Is anybody getting like the coriander orange peel?
No.
I'm not getting that either. Okay.
No. And so producer's making a comment as well, like this is probably not the beer that you're going to be pulling out necessarily while you're out there doing that back nine. You'd probably be looking for that IPA or that New England IPA,
this is a beer, if you've bogeyed 3 holes in a row, this is the one to go to. If you've birdied your eagle a few holes, IPA.
Yeah, get that Hazerbeam.
Yeah, if you had a bad round, I mean, I don't know about you guys, I'm what you'd probably consider ultra competitive. This would probably be the beer that I'd go to after a bad round, because it is literally the darkest hour. Don't talk to me. Let me just sit myself in my sorrows. This is the darkest hour, and I'll have 1 or 2 of these before going home and reconsidering why I exist.
Now, in terms of the can,
here we go. Light it up, Fife. Light it up.
You know me, always light it up. So it is of a silhouette of a person in the woods. Now, I've golfed a few times, probably more than anybody else here. And let's just say I am one with nature when it comes to golfing.
Right.
I've been in the woods quite a few times. So it's kind of like me in the woods trying to find my ball.
Right. Yeah, no, and that's the thing is I've heard from other people that you've struggled to find your ball. But again, producer comment, spot on. Lots of complimenting kind of flavors on this, and the brewer's done a really good job of it. I think this beer could have gone sideways. It literally you could have been under par for the first 9 and then grossly over par on the back 9. But this beer, you've rode the course, you've done a good job. You know what to kind of expect with it. And they put the time and effort into it, and you can tell with this is that like complementing flavors, nothing overpowering. You get this earthy vanilla kind of flavor, and the more I kind of drink it, that vanilla is really starting to come out. And I don't know if you guys agree with that or not, but I'm not a huge vanilla guy, but it's doing a good job because it's not overpowering, but it is starting to move forward.
Maybe as it warms up, that's kind of coming through, right?
Okay. Yeah, that could be it. Or it gets more air in it, and it's just kind of moving the flavors.
Aerates better, yeah.
Like similar to other darker beers, like a stout or a porter, where you're probably drinking it warmer. Personally, I just took this right out of the fridge right before we opened it. So maybe that's why we're not getting, or personally, why I'm not getting as much flavors coming through.
It's your call.
I'm definitely getting the earthiness just because I had it sit out for a while, because saison's, technically supposed to be drank a little bit warmer, like 6 degrees or whatever. But talking about flavors, let's go about the top 5 flavor profiles from Untapped. So I will do this, and you guys can comment this time.
Sounds good.
Throwing a wrench into things, right? Yep. So number 1 is dark.
It is.
It is not really a flavor, but it is dark.
Yeah, physically it's dark, but it doesn't taste like a dark beer per se. You know what I mean? Like
correct,
it's not as heavy as a dark beer.
Yep.
So that's a good point. Right? If I didn't see, like, if you just open the can and drank it out, I would say this is probably just, and you told me it was a saison, I'd probably say it's just a regular saison, which is obviously much more pale than what we're looking at here.
Yep.
All right. Okay. So number 2, sweet, which is kind of funny because it said it's kind of root beer without the sweetness, right? So what do you guys think about that?
Again, I don't see it. Like I don't really see it.
I'm not getting a lot of sweetness, to be honest with you.
And I don't want to judge the Untapped community, but I'm not really.
But we will.
Yeah, I'm not really in this. I'm not in the sweet zone on this one, if you will.
Okay, are you in the roasty zone for number 3?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
me
right.
neither.
Okay. So Fore, yeasty.
So I
You can
think
go many ways with this one.
yeah, I think again, if that chocolate profile is coming from the yeast, and again, I think it is a little bit. I could see that as a 4, maybe a 5. So
Okay.
I'd put it in there. Sure.
Okay. And number 5 would be spiced.
Yeah,
Maybe that's coming off the nutmeg.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
But okay, so producer saying vanilla, earthy. Yeah, I agree. I think vanilla would be up there. I think earthy'd be up there. As a saison, you expect a little bit more of that earthiness kind of flavor to kind of come through. And with this, it's there, but it's not overpowering it. Like it's not. I know it's not a flavor profile, but if I say gritty, do you guys kind of see where I'm kind of going with that a little bit?
I can tell you.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay.
It kind of falls in with that earthy kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Well, let's see what other people on Untapped have to say about this beer.
All right. So the first one we've got is Jeft, Jeftem, handle Jeft_Morales, commented on October 26th. Intéressant, applicable en français, which is English translates to interesting and approachable, which is rated at 3.75 out of the 5.
All right. And I have the second one. So this is from Trevor P. The handle is T. Padberry. Coming on April 9th. A crisp, flavorful saison. More roastery than a usual saison, which I will definitely agree with. He gave it a 4 out of 5.
Interesting.
Okay. The roasty part I'm not fully in on, but I all right, I'll give it to you.
Well, saisons usually aren't roasty, so that's why it's more roasty than your usual saison.
Okay,
fair enough. All right, I'll kick it off for us then. I'm going to give this beer a 3.5 out of 5. I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with this beer. It's just not really my style.
You know what? I am on par with you, Chris. Huh? I'm also going to give it a 3.5. Again, there's nothing. It's not a terrible beer. I will definitely have this beer again, but just nothing standing out for me to get it, to that next level, if you will.
Yeah. All right. So again, I kind of look at beers in their kind of categories, and with something like this, we really haven't had it. I think they did a really good job with it. So I'm going to give it a 3.75. It was between that and a 4. I think it sits well at 3.75. And producer Justin is going to also come in at 3.75 as well.
So mathematics, we got to add that up, don't we?
We do.
Oh, where are we at? Tell me where we're at. I can't do math right now.
All right. Well, I got you.
Do it for me.
I got you. So it's a 3.75, 3.8125. So we're gonna probably drop that down to a 3.75, right? So what we want to do. So we're gonna keep it as a 3.75. Overall, it was a 3.8125, but we'll do a 3.75. But I don't know if the math actually checks out on that. Justin's a little bit dark saison here, so 3.75 is what we're gonna give it. All right.
That's all that matters.
That's all it is. 3.75.
Yeah.
All right. Justin, I think you need to go back to the clubhouse, big guy. All right.
God,
so that's going to be it for
God.
Broken Stick and our reviews of their beers. Chris, roll us into the next one, big guy.
Yeah. Up next, we're going to avoid all hazards, and we're going to talk about one of the sports that has seen an upswing since the beginning of the pandemic, which is golf.
All right, so we're till the tail end here. 17th Sawgrass. We're seeing their Island Green. We're so close.
That's pretty intimidating,
right? Anyway, so with Broken Stick being located on a golf course, it's only fitting that we talk about my second favorite sport to participate in, since fastball hasn't been a thing since 2019. So it's golf. So, Chris, Tyler, how much have we golfed? before.
Now, are we talking about a full golf course? We're talking mini putt. What are we getting at here? Because I floated this idea with some of the baseball guys the other day. I'm thinking a pretty competitive mini putt competition.
Well, A, I'm in on that. But B, I'm talking actual golf.
All right.
Like I'm talking like 18 holes, tee block, like fairway.
I have golfed in my 31 years plus existence, one entire round of golf.
Wow.
Yes, and I was there for that.
And that came last year out of desperation to get outside.
Desperation to socialize with his friends.
All right. Well, I have golfed quite a bit. So I haven't golfed actually very much in the last few years. Haven't been able to get out, but I started golfing probably when I was like 8 or 9 years old. And at one point I was doing like 25, 30 rounds a year when I was like a teenager. So I've golfed quite a bit. I really enjoy it. I wish I could get out more. It's just, honestly, I don't have time.
Fair enough.
Right? It happens, right? So with me, I started golfing when I was about, I think, 11. Like I had a junior membership. I golfed. If I didn't have baseball that night, I went and golfed after 4 o'clock because then kids could go by themselves. So I had a couple buddies I usually went with. And then when I went to college, I totally got out of the game. I literally did not see a golf course at all. And I maybe golfed intermittently, like once or twice a year, until, kind of 2018, I kind of got back into it. It's like, oh yes, I actually enjoy this. And then 2020, I went hard, obviously because it was one of the only things you could do because of COVID. I went pretty hard, and now I'm my handicap, I'm like a 12, 13 handicap, which is what matters.
So
nice.
So producer Justin did a lot more golfing when he was in elementary and high school, as opposed to now.
Yeah.
And, naturally time and cost are a barrier, right? So we've kind of transitioned in this adult life where we have different responsibilities and different bills that we have to pay. But I mean, there are different apps out there that you can go ahead and see what kind of last minute deals there are on golfing. So perhaps Justin might get out there on the course, the links, if you will.
Yes. Yeah, Golf Now is a great app to utilize. If you at 2 o'clock on a Friday afternoon say, hey, I want to go golfing, and you live close to a golf course, then go nuts, right? So has anybody had it? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like for myself, I didn't golf much. It's not like I was a power hitter in baseball, but I really tried to focus on my swing because I was a righty and then I became a lefty. So I really want to focus on that, not kind of like undercut the baseball. So as we know with some of us here is that we do play competitive fastball at a competitive kind of level. And I really didn't want to kind of start undercutting the baseball. So I really stayed away from golf as much as possible. Especially when I bat on my non-strong or my non-dominant side to begin with, right? So now that we haven't really been playing as much, last year was a fun time. I mean, we got up to the golf course, we had some beers. It would have been nice if there was a brewery that was actually on hand as well.
I mean, there was one down the road, but still not as
but it wasn't
right
as broken.
there.
It wasn't broken stick, right?
Yeah,
So,
it wasn't on the property,
right? So that's kind of just where I'm kind of coming from with that. Now, my whole life, I've kind of been the outsider because a lot of my friends, they golf, like my co-best man. So there's Chris and then Matt, my other co-best man. He is a avid golfer and goes out all the time, gets a golf membership, and he'll be out there literally 3-4 nights a week when restrictions are relaxed. So I never went in high school, but they all did, and I got left behind.
Almost kind of wishing you almost did now, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
But you know what? It is what it is.
And the one thing of like memberships can be costly because like a junior membership is like, $300 kind of somewhere in there. But then you get to like a men's membership and you're looking, or, women's membership or family membership, you're looking like $1,300-$1,400, which is a lot of money to put up if, you don't have a, steady income savings, etc. Right? So
yeah. Plus, you're also looking at minimum purchases at the clubhouse.
You will be buying beers.
Yeah.
Not even just that, but like equipment too, right? Like if you don't have your own set of golf clubs, I mean, you're probably spending $300-$400 for a basic set, anyways. And as we talked previously in the bottle shop episode, Brett, you're only allowed $300 Visa limit, so I don't even know if you could even buy any clubs.
I actually. fun story about that. I bought a driver, new Callaway driver, and it took 7 days to ship from Mississauga to here for some stupid reason. So apparently they should have used the same service that Broken Stick used.
Yeah, right?
Right?
Yeah, well, you would have got it next day.
So I ordered it the Monday before the lockdown. So then it actually shipped to my house like the next Monday. So it's literally been sitting in my golf bag. I haven't even taken it out to use it yet.
That's probably better for the club. It doesn't have to endure all those missed strikes of the ball.
So, okay, any fun experience while we've had golfing? I know, lots of people like to, get drunk on the golf carts and tip them or whatnot. I'm not that person. But Chris, you look like you have a story.
Yeah, well, the only thing, and it didn't involve me personally, but I was golfing with one of my friends. I'll shout him out, Trevor. Not the same Trevor that appeared on one of the producer specials, but we were playing a course, and he actually eagled a par 5 while I was playing with him, which I have not witnessed any other time other than that.
Oh,
so
good for him.
It was pretty awesome. He drove the green in 2, and he was about 5 feet from the cup, and then sank the putt. So, yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Great job, Trevor.
Yes, Good job, Trevor. Yes. I've came 3 inches to a hole in one before. It was actually at the 18th hole at the St. Mary's Golf and Country Club. It was actually the last hole I golfed last year. I probably should just gave it up. I thought it was just kind of had like an uphill green, so I thought it was actually in the hole. So I was pretty excited. I was celebrating pretty hard. And then the defeat when you walk up there and see that the ball is actually not in the cup, but right beside it.
Yeah, I've never really had any fun experience, I guess, except for that one time and the only time I've been out. So it's also coincidentally my funnest time. But we did have some beers. We had a good time, and
Absolutely.
You know what? It's a social sport, and we kind of talked a little bit about curling in the past and whatnot. And again, a social sport. It was enjoyable to get out with the boys.
Yes. So does anybody follow along with the PGA Tour? I know.
No.
Watch Masters, US Open, Bryson DeChambeau, Dustin Johnson, Justin Thomas. Oh, maybe it's producer Justin Thomas. Maybe that's what we have.
That's what it is.
Oh, maybe.
You know what? I do watch a little bit of golf just to kind of pass some time. Well, let's talk about somebody who's close to Perth County there, right?
Yes. Corey Connors.
You
got her. He's been having a good time lately on the PGA Tour for sure.
Ed, I just saw the other day, Mike Weir wanted
Champions Tour event.
Senior tournament. Yeah.
So you know what? I pay attention a little bit, but again, it's not something that I'm kind of 2 feet in on. But I do pay attention, and I do enjoy watching it from time to time just to kind of pass the day along.
Absolutely. So what about video games? Like I know Tiger Woods, EA Sports, PGA used to be a big thing back in the day. I have PGA 2K21. Like I'm in an online society with a few of my buddies, so it's fun for sure. Golden Tee. Like who hasn't played Golden Tee in their day?
Right.
Go to Imperial City when they open up again.
I was going to say, didn't Imperial City have Golden Tee? So I always lag behind on the video game. So I remember playing like Tiger Woods 09 on PS2. Just absolutely
yesterday. You played it yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. Absolutely demolishing that game. Like I would be like 50 under in a tournament. It would be amazing. Yeah.
I haven't got anything. I'm going to wait for the new one. Like I do have a PS5, and so I'm just kind of waiting for that next gen game to kind of come out. But I did find that golf games on PlayStation were quite enjoyable. Again, relaxing. And now I'm going to go ahead and maybe get some of these Broken Stick beers. And every 3 or 4 holes, I'm going to have a beer. So you know what?
What about a Wii golf tournament like producer Justin wants to do?
Oh, there you go.
That's it. Whenever I can whip out the Wii, I'm all for it.
There you go. All right. So that looks like we're done, right? We should probably go to the 19th hole, finish this up, and get on our way home, boys?
Let's do it.
All right.
And that's all for today's episode.
Thanks for listening. Keep on listening every other Thursday as Craft Beer Connoisseurs releases a new episode, and on our off Thursdays for a producer special.
So make sure to tell your friends, family, and Taka Woods, y'all, because obviously, in rehab, he needs something to listen to. So you do it.
Oh, man. All right. So from all of us and producer Justin, I'm Chris.
I'm Brett.
And I'm Tyler. And together, we're Craft Beer Connoisseurs.